welcome to the Women Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Amanda, the Money Healer, and today's episode is coming from our live webinars where you get to hang out with me and other women entrepreneurs to learn about money mindset, manifestation, and business scaling strategies and get your questions answered. To join us, go to thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com where you'll see the link to register for the webinars at the top of the page. Can't wait to see you there. Today we're talking about how fear and imposter syndrome block your money flow. And I want you to think for a minute about what fear is. Is it a present moment situation? Is it past? Is it future? The way that I really like to think about fear is that it's the future expectation of awful results. The future expectation of awful results. And when you think about it, what that means is that you aren't present in the moment, and instead you're projecting something into the future that's causing you to worry and create doubt and uncertainty. And because you're projecting that into the future, it's what you're going to attract your way. So when you're thinking about the law of attraction and you're thinking about repelling or attracting money, if you're in a state of fear, worry, anxiety, or doubt, that's what you're sending out to the universe. So the way that the law of attraction works and the way that money magnetism works is that whatever it is that you believe or feel in your state of being is the frequency you're sending out, and that's going to get matched back to you in return in a material way. So if you are living in a vibration of fear, you're attracting things to be afraid of, because you will be revalidating and reconfirming what you believe to be true. So it's really important for us to understand how fear is in your mind. It's a made-up story that you are creating around some sort of limiting belief that's probably trapped in your subconscious being. This could be coming from your history. This could be coming from perceived failures you've had in the past that now you're afraid, oh no, I'm going to replicate this. And so I'm afraid to put myself out there. Typically, it's not a thing that's real, right? If any of us here had a lion or a tiger chasing us, yeah, get scared, you should be. Then you need to run. It's an actual threat and you need to protect yourself. The problem is that your brain doesn't know the difference between an actual fear and an imagined fear. It responds the same way in your physical being chemically, and it also sends out the same frequency to the universe. And the universe doesn't discriminate. It doesn't go, oh, you're just making this up in your mind, so I'm not going to send that to you. Instead, it goes, okay, you're telling me you're in this vibrational frequency, you're fearful, you're worried, and you're feeling some doubt. I'm going to keep sending you things along that vibration to confirm that that's true for you, because you create your reality from your inner world. And so when you're creating your business and attracting money from a place of fear, you are going to continuously perpetuate this. So it's really important for you to start to understand how to shift into the present moment and drop that fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And just remember, future expectation of awful results. So anytime you're feeling fear, you go, oh, wait, I'm having a future expectation of awful results. How do I shift into flow? And what FLOW is, I love this acronym too. I'm an acronym person. So FLOW is the faithfully looking for opportunities to win. Faithfully looking for opportunities to win. And remember, when you have a rich versus a poor mindset, you are in the rich mindset looking for opportunities to win. You're solution oriented. You're thinking anything's possible. You're thinking, I might not be sure how to do this, but I'll figure it out. I'm going to be confident about this. And then the universe sends you opportunities that you never had to plan for because you're looking for those opportunities. And so I love to think about it that way. When you're in a poor mindset, you're going to continue to recreate your fear. You're going to have biases around your life being scarce and problem ridden. And then you create, I like to call it a shit storm coming your way constantly, right? And I know all of us here have probably felt like that at some point in our lives where we're like, I just can't seem to get ahead. Things keep falling in my lap. I feel like a shitstorm is coming my way. And then when you start to realize your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, you start to change yourself from within, you start to get outer world different results, and then you become less fearful and more confident, and you start to get more into that flow state. So that's fear. Now let's think about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome blocks money flow because when you're in imposter syndrome, what it means is that you're worrying that you're not good enough. That's really the biggest core of imposter syndrome, is not enoughness. You think, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good enough. I'm not sure how to do this. What if people figure out that I'm a fraud? I keep, putting myself out there and I fail. And then people are like, oh, why is she asking me to pay her for this program? Right? So you go, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. In reality, you probably do, but your inner perception is based on negative self-comparison. And I see this happen with so many entrepreneurs who tend to compare themselves to other people who are building a business and they're many, many years ahead of them. And they go, but their web page is like this. Their social media has this many followers. Their package, program, product, or service is out in the world making a huge difference and they're selling it like hotcakes. But, I'm over here just trying to get my first client or, break through to whatever next level that is. And so you start negatively comparing yourself to other people. And remember that negative self-comparison is the death of joy, right? And joy is high vibrational frequency. When you're in imposter syndrome, again, you're sending out a frequency to the universe that is very low vibe. And when you're low vibe, you're repelling money away from you because money loves joy. Money loves flow. Money loves, and I can't say money loves you loving money because we know some miserable rich people too, right? I'm sure everyone here has met someone who is a mega millionaire who is pretty miserable. So all that means is that that person is connected to a vibration of wealth and has the expectation to make money, but they might not be tapped into, I like to think of it as holistic wealth, where when you're attracting money from your zone of genius in a state of joy, you've got this holistic vision of wealth, right? You've got a holistic frequency of wealth where you go, I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel good in my relationships. I choose to enjoy building my business. And then money magnetizes you and you have holistic richness. It's not just having a big amount of money in the bank, but not feeling good about everything in your life. And I really like to teach people, when we think about the concept of NFA money, it's NFA joy, NFA flow, NFA alignment, NFA feeling really good. And so imposter syndrome is one of those things that kills joy. And it kills your feeling of self-confidence. So the symptoms of imposter syndrome show up like you worry you're not good enough, you negatively compare yourself to other people, you minimize yourself and your accomplishments. So what that means is even though you might have had great successes, you don't notice them or you minimize them. So when you're talking to other people, for example, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at this amazing thing that you did, you might self-reflect and go, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And you don't know how to take and receive compliments. When you're in the state of not receiving, again, you're repelling away wealth, prosperity, and abundance because you're sending a signal to the universe. Here's a great example that I like to use. Let's imagine I came to your door every day with a gift. And in the morning, I'm like, you're just amazing. I want to give you this gift. And you said, no, I don't deserve it. I don't need it. And so then the next day I came back and I gave it to you again. And you're like, no, I don't want it. I don't need it. And the next day I came back to you again. And you're like, no, I don't need this gift. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go somewhere else where this person wants this gift. They want to receive this gift. The universe treats you the exact same way. If you keep pushing away abundance and pushing away compliments and the ability to receive, you're blocking your money flow. And when you feel like an imposter and you don't feel good enough, you're already sending an automatic frequency and message to the universe that you don't want to receive because you don't deserve it. So there's this not deservingness around imposter syndrome. Another symptom that shows up with imposter syndrome is perfectionism. And this really kills business growth and money magnetism because when you feel like you have to be perfect, it's very easy to burn out. You overly perfect everything and you overly analyze, you get into analysis paralysis, and you start to wonder how you're ever going to have enough energy to scale your business and make easier money because everything's got to be so damn perfect. And so I love the mantra here, screw perfection, just get started. Screw perfection, just get started. I used to use this one all the time when I was in the beginning of stages of building my business because I would hyper tweak everything on my website and just go crazy with perfectionism. And so I'd have to tell myself I would use Parkinson's law. So what that means is work expands to fill the time allotted. And so I would set a timer and I would go, I'm knocking out this project in the next hour. And when I'd get close to the hour, I'd be like, screw perfection, just put it out there. Screw perfection, just get going. And I put just before this webinar, Abe and I noticed that there was a typo on the webinar website, like a big typo, like just so obvious. When we went back, we're like, wow, we put all the email content with that in it. It's on the website, but hey, that's okay. We've got it out there and we're not perfect. So screw perfection, just get started. Screw perfection, put it out there. And remember, imposter syndrome is a lack of self-love, right? It's a lack of feeling in alignment. So let's talk a little bit before I give you some strategies that we're going to play with about how to know when fear and imposter syndrome mean that you're out of alignment, because everything that I teach about money magnetism is about you getting into your zone of genius in order to attract easier money. Okay. So when you're in your zone of genius, what it means is that you are aligned, waking up every day, doing what you choose to do that brings you joy and gives you energy to make easier money. When you're in this state, you automatically drop fear and imposter syndrome. Okay. The definition that I love to share of my definition of confidence is to know, love, and trust yourself. And when you know, love, and trust yourself, it means that you know what you want, which is being in alignment with your zone of genius. You trust yourself, meaning you might not have all the answers all the time, but you will figure it out. And when you know, love, and then trust yourself, you go, I know what I want. I feel confident. I do things in my zone of genius. I am getting aligned with my highest, I would say, callings, my highest vision. I feel good doing it. And this is something that takes time to refine. It doesn't just happen overnight for most people. Every once in a while, I meet someone who's like, oh, I knew my zone of genius since I was born, had no problem stepping into it. That's not typical for most people because we've got to unlearn all of the crappy limiting beliefs that we've had downloaded into our brains since we were little kids. And some of those, this is never to blame your parents. It's for you to get conscious and understand, oh, I learned that I'm too big for my britches when I'm confident. I learned that people think that I'm bossy when I know what I'm doing. I learned that you're supposed to be small and not take up a lot of space, especially as women, this happens a lot, right? And so we really want to think about when I know what I love to do, how can I monetize that? And how can I use that state of being of joy to bring me energy, increase my flow, decrease my imposter syndrome, decrease my fears, and step into my personal power where I have the most possibility and potential to make easy money. For a few minutes, I want you to journal about these 3 things. And this is the easiest strategy to release fear and become more confident and to get into alignment with your zone of genius. So really, anytime I'm talking with you about, how to release fear, how to reduce money blocks, how to overcome imposter syndrome, how to be confident in your business, how to magnetize, it's always going to be a strategy that's helping you get into alignment with what you love to do and with more joy. And so these are the 3 things that you're going to write about. And we're going to spend a few minutes journaling here. So you are going to, number 1, write a frustration list. So what a frustration looks like is reviewing your week in your mind and going, what did I do this week that made me feel lower energy, lower vibe, drained, frustrated? I felt like, oh, I when I'm doing these things, I'll literally say, I hate this. I hate doing this. And to me, that is a powerful clue. And you want to become very conscious of these things. So remember, Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So you've got to start to get conscious of the things that frustrate you and drain your energy and the things that bring you joy. So on the flip side, after you make this frustration list, you're going to make a joy list. So number 2, make a joy list. And then number 3, do a drop ad list. So I always call this, create either an ad drop or a drop ad list. And when I say drop, what that means is the things that frustrate you and reduce your energy, you're going to drop, automate, or delegate as fast as possible. And the thing that's really important here is, like I said, we learned so many things from coaches and consultants and online courses about what you should be doing in your business. And many of these things are draining your energy and draining your, they're draining your energy, blocking your money flow, causing you to repel money away, causing you to feel like you don't even know why you're doing your business anymore, potentially feeling disconnected from the people you get to work with. And so I really, this list is going to help you know and detect your own roadmap to be more in alignment so that you can be more magnetic to money. Thank you for listening to the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. If you want to learn actionable strategies that magnetize money as a woman entrepreneur, go to thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com to register for an upcoming webinar. These are interactive webinars where you'll get to hang out with me and podcast fans live for powerful lessons about money mindset, manifestation, and business scaling strategies. Plus, there's live Q&A to get all of your questions answered. Again, go to thewomanentrepreneurpodcast.com and click on the button to register for a live webinar now.